Welcome to Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, I got another good one for you here this week. We're going to be building an aluminum mast or crane for the back of a houseboat. It might be similar to a davit crane or a davit lift. The idea is going to be the same. It's going to mount to the back of the boat, extend out, and be able to pivot in and out. And on the end of this mast is going to be a satellite dish for a TV. A little bit different, but it's going to be a fun project. All out of aluminum. This is 3.5-inch Schedule 40 round tube, 3-inch Schedule 40 round tube. I got some 1-inch round tube, Schedule 40 also. We got some 3/4-inch aluminum plate. All aluminum project. Yet again, testing my aluminum welding skills. Be a great project. Let's get started on today's video. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is trim up this flat plate to size, and you can see I started off bad right out of the chute. That blade was starting to creep off to the side, so I jumped into this Mercer aluminum cutoff wheel right here, and this is something that I've never used before. You know, I use a lot of cutoff wheels, and you know, they all work pretty good, but when it gets to aluminum, they never work well. They load up. But this one is designed for aluminum, and I got to tell you, I had no problems. It cut through this just like it was cutting through metal. The blade never loaded up. I could have made it with one blade right here, but I decided that I was just going to play it safe and jump into another blade. You see there's a lot of life left in that one. But I just changed to a new blade, and it was just a matter of seconds, and that piece came right off of there. Didn't take too long to do that either. I just jumped over the Burr King and kind of softened up the edges and cleaned it up a little bit, smoothed things out, and make everything you know, nice and square as I could anyway. It's time to drill some holes in this. Now, you know, this is the only size plate that we could possibly use. We're at our maximum capacity right here. I'd like to have had something a lot bigger, wider, and longer to support this mast, but this is all what we had room for here on the boat. So I'm taking advantage of it as much as I can. I've got 6 mounting holes right here. This is going to be attached with, I believe, some 3/8 by 3-inch long lag screws, stainless steel, and hopefully it's going to work out pretty good. Now this is a hole that I need to put in the center of the base plate. The mast, the round part of the tubing, is going to go right over the top of this. We got wires that are going to come up through the bottom of this to get out to the end of the mast for the satellite dish itself. I had such a time trying to drill this hole through this aluminum with this hole saw. I just I don't understand why it was took so long, but it did. Once I got through there, just took this little deburring tool and cleaned up the edges. That worked out really good. And then it's time to start cutting the pieces for the mast. You know, this is the 3.5-inch piece I'm using for the top part, and then this will be the 3-inch that's going to be sliding inside of that. It's a pretty good fit, as tight as it can be. You can see that I'm going to start right here by putting the vertical piece on the base plate. You see a piece of aluminum wire in there. I just try to get everything nice and plumb, and want everything as plumb as it can be. Of course, we don't want this thing running on an angle. I put a couple of tacks in there, and then I just went ahead and put the first pass. I decided to do a 3-pass method on this right here, just for fun. So that first pass went in there pretty good. This is going to be kind of quick for you. There's the second pass. May not be the prettiest thing, but and then the third pass over the top of that. You know, if you haven't done aluminum MIG welding, it's not the simplest thing, but it takes a little getting used to. Now, this is the pipe template also for Mercer Industries, and you can see that be able to put that, snap it right on there, and make the template right on there, and I'm able to cut this off perfectly for a perfect fit. Once again, I jump right to the aluminum cutoff wheel. This is, you can see how easily and effortlessly it cuts that aluminum, and right on the line too. You know, it's really good. It minimized the amount of you know, filing that I had to do, or grinding that I had to do to make this fit pretty nice. Put a little tilt on the Yost vise right there to make things a little bit easier for me to access, and then a ceramic wheel right here to go around and clean the edges up. And it really wasn't much I had to do other than just take the burrs off for a pretty good fit. You can see I slid that piece of frame in there and then double check the fit, and that's not too bad. I'll go with that. And then here it is. I had to drill another hole in the side of this to accept the wires that are going to go now up the mast and then through this part of it and out to the very end. Again, a little bit of a challenge, surprisingly, to get that hole in there, but ultimately worked out pretty good. All right, so now I know everything's going to fit together. Let me take this thing apart. We'll set that part of the mast down for now, and then we'll take this, line everything up, get the holes right where it needs to be, get everything perfectly square. I've got it clamped down on either side so nothing's going to move around, and tacked everything nice and square. Ran over to the bandsaw with some 1/4-inch plate and cut out some gussets. I want to gusset this thing up as much as I possibly can to limit the amount of flexing that this thing is going to have once it's installed. So I took advantage of just about as much as I possibly could. Just got it all blocked up and tacked in these 2 gussets right here. You can see I ran all the way out to the very end. I allowed a little bit for that cap on the very end. And once everything, I double check for square, and everything is nice and square, nice and plumb. Then I went ahead and just started welding, everything out. And like I said, aluminum MIG welding is a little bit of a challenge if you've never done it. It's not your ordinary welding. Once you get this, is all about the settings. You got to get everything just right in order for it to work fairly smooth. And I think that I finally got it here. After playing with the settings, I got into a position where it's working out pretty good. I'm starting to get a little bit more comfortable with it. I ended up with 425 inches a minute and about 22 volts right here, and I'm running 4041 35 thousandths wire on this, and operating off the ProPulse 300 here. And that seemed to be where I landed, and everything seemed to be working pretty good with that. One note is, I'm running pure argon at about 45 CFH, so that was another thing. You got to be sure and get a lot of gas coverage in there, and so I've got that up to between 45 and 50 CFH. But there's the finished product. You see, I'm getting a little bit used to it, and it's the settings. It's working out pretty good there. All right, so I got the main frame or lift or whatever you want to call it all welded out for this particular project. All the major aluminum part is all done. All the supports are all done. I actually have it set up above my head and on the ground right here as it would be where it's going to be mounted. I've got the TV dish motor on the end of it up here. I'm going to show you all that here in just a second. I got a few more things to do. I've got some bracketry that I have to make to support the motor housing out here on the end. I've got a diagonal pole that I'm going to put in here for some support to support the weight that's going to come down on it. Miscellaneous few things left on the staff, and we'll get this project all finished up. So let's do it. All right, so this is 2 little brackets that I'm going to kind of make for the diagonal pole that's going to go, or the diagonal brace that's going to go in there to support this thing. This is just some rectangular tubing. You can see I've just created a little radius right there, and I'm making the 2 brackets. I've got to drill them out right here, and so because the parts are so small, I went ahead and just making them both onto this. It's about probably 8 inches long. It's just easier for me to handle. So I started a pilot hole right there in both of them, and then I jumped over to this step drill. Now, I don't use these things a lot, but I've got a few of them, and I just thought this was pretty cool right here, It's got markings on it, the size that you want to go to on each step, and that worked out pretty good. I just kind of ran it down there because I'm not used to it. I ran it one short right there and had to open it up, but perfect deal. It worked out good for our aluminum. It's just something that I don't use very often. This is a perfect setup. I took it over to the bandsaw and just cut the braces out right there, cut the radiuses out. Took it over to the Burr King and just kind of cleaned it up a little bit. Those after cutting with the bandsaw, the edges were a little bit, sharp. Just cleaned it up. This is a 45-degree angle. You can see this is the first piece. It's going to be going on a piece of 1/2 inch by 4-inch angle iron, and then the other piece is going to be welded right to the tube itself. Here's that angle iron. I'm cutting it right at 9 inches, the same width as the base plate. And this is going to be mounted about 1 foot away from where the base plate is actually going to be mounted. It's going to be mounted on the very corner of the boat itself. You can see that's why it's angle iron. I'm just drilling a couple holes on either side of the angle iron to mount it to. And then this little bracket's going to go right here in the center. And I'm just going to weld this thing all the way around here, and that's going to support that pole. A little bit nervous welding 1/8 inch to I want to say 1/2 inch plate, but with the MIG welder right here. But you know, just like regular MIG, I kept most of the heat on the thicker part of the plate, and that worked out really good. Couple gussets here on the bottom part of the mast. You know, again, I'm worried about flexing this thing. You know, mounted down, a lot of weight hanging off the end, so I tried to gusset this up as much as I can. I've actually got 2 gussets here, and I've got them on a little bit of an angle. You might be able to see that. That's not this one. You can see me putting in the other one on the other side. So they're spread apart about 3 or 4 inches. That's just something I thought I might do to just give it that little extra touch. Kind of tough to get inside there, but it worked out pretty good. All right, now it's for the hardest part of the deal. At least it was for me. I mean, you guys may not see it here on camera, but anyways, this took the most part. I reached down to my fixture clamps right here. You know, these things are so handy to have. You know, having this welding table and with the fixture clamps has just been a huge asset to the shop right here. This worked out perfectly. I was able to clamp it right down to the table. A lot of the work's going to happen right here on this end of the table. So I have to drill a hole in here to start with. And again, this is the last hole. And, you know, this is always, for some reason, it's just giving me bit of a problem, but I ultimately got through it. And then this is going to be the little supports that's going to support the dish itself. 1.25 inch by 1/8 inch thick wall square tube. And even though it looks like it's fairly easy right here, I'm making it look like it's fairly easy. It was a bit of a challenge. There's just so many angles and so many corners to work with, so many radiuses, but ultimately, you know, I got it done. Just tons of cutting and getting everything just right to where it's going to fit up pretty good. This dish weighs about 50 or 60 pounds, and the base plate for this dish is kind of odd shaped. You'll see it here in just a minute. There it is. So I just wanted to give it some additional support out on the end so it's not going to flex. That base plate's only 1/8 of an inch thick, and it was kind of wobbly. So this is going to give us this extra support to make it a little bit rigid. Again, fixture clamps. I clamped everything down once I knew everything was going to fit perfectly and where it needed to be. And just because of the length and the size of this thing, I had this thing ran all the way out to the end of my welding table. And you see I've got my MIG gun right there. And this was a real stretch. I couldn't quite reach this. I have an 8-foot lead on my MIG gun right here, and that was stretching it all the way. I didn't want to move my welding cart, pull it out with the gas bottles for this, just for this little length right here. So, I just kind of set the MIG gun down and grabbed the TIG torch and just finished things up that I couldn't reach with the MIG gun with the TIG torch, and that worked out pretty good. It's nice to be able to have that versatility. Everything is on the same cart, and it was just a matter of shutting off one switch and turning on another, and everything is good to go. So that worked out pretty good. This is just a bracket on that part of the mast that's going to support that diagonal pole. And then once I got the little frame welded out, this is just a piece of angle iron that I added on either side of the post. Just give it just a little bit of extra support. It added, about 3 more inches to it. One of the very last thing was cutting out some end caps for the end. The owner said, don't get too carried away. He's going to do something different. But for now, I came up with something fairly quick, and just cut out some circles right here. And this is something that I went through it in just a matter of a couple of minutes and tried to figure this out. Just kind of smoothed out the circles and then just ripped some flat pieces of aluminum right here. And I know they're not perfectly straight, but you're going to get the idea here in a minute. You got to remember this is just temporary. Took it over to the vise and just put a little bend on each one of these things. I think you guys might see where I'm going with this. And then just TIG welded them on a little bit of an angle, and what I'm hoping to do is be able to just slide these end caps in, and just the frictional will hold them in place. So that's the idea. So I quickly threw those together, and just like I was hoping, it worked out perfectly. I had to assemble this thing right here in my backyard next to the shop to be sure everything was going to work the way it was supposed to, and it worked out pretty good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out the website at jimbosgarage.com. We got some new shirts over there, hats, and of course, torch lead holders. And also check us out on Instagram, where you get a lot of behind the scenes action that don't quite make it to the channel. And also follow us on Facebook. Thanks for watching. See you guys next week.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.